to happen, but I'm just trying to figure out what the hell's going on. All right, what is the hardest home and away game for the Broncos? What's the toughest 4-game stretch? Is there must-win games in September? Does that make sense? This schedule dropped right after we got off the air yesterday. I'm fascinated by this. And let's just sort of talk through it, and then we'll have some follow-up questions. Titans week 1. We talked about this yesterday.
Best case scenario, Zach.
Best case.
You got a rookie quarterback coming into our town, our home. All right, the Tennessee Titans are not a very good football team right now. They're rebuilding. You have a defense with the Denver Broncos that should be top 5 again. Okay, Bo Nix should be able to take that next step. Why? Because he's our franchise quarterback. You added a run game with R.J. Harvey in the offensive line. You have a tight end now with Evan Ingram. We should be able to beat the Tennessee Titans week 1.
Yeah, if that doesn't happen, we're coming in here like I'm freaking out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm freaking out.
Oh, yeah, I'm cutting all my hair like you.
Week 2, you go on the road and face Indianapolis. This feels like as much of a fantastic, grooved path that your season can start with. Now, I don't want to get carried away and just start to assume, because whenever you think you have the NFL figured out, it'll humble you. But the Colts are not supposed to be a great football team.
No, they're going to be a solid football team. They're going to have a great run game. You don't know who the quarterback's going to be week 1 or 2, Anthony Richardson or Josh Daniels.
Daniels.
Not Daniels from the Giants was over there with the Colts right now.
Daniel Jones?
Daniel Jones. I don't know why I said Josh Daniels. Daniel Jones is over there with the Colts, so it's either going to be Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones.
Okay.
And so,
well, regardless who it is, you need to win that game.
You do. This is the thing, though, Zach. One thing that I said, hey, the Denver Broncos need to do a better job of this year is stopping the run. You need to stop Jonathan Taylor, because last year Jonathan Taylor did something that helped us out, and that's dropping the football right before he got to the touchdown.
Still can't believe that.
And that changed the course of that game.
It did.
If Jonathan Taylor scores that touchdown, I don't know if we win the game, truly. So you need to stop the run early, and what better way than going against a really good running back in Jonathan Taylor. And JT, I'm telling you guys right now, he's going to have that game marked, because he wants to have that get back.
Yes.
I've already talked to him about it, actually.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. He wants to have that get back at home for him.
Who was quarterbacking the Colts last year in that game? Do we remember?
Anthony Richardson.
It was Richardson in that game?
It was.
Why do I not remember that?
He played bad.
Yeah, that was nuts. That Jonathan Taylor play last year was absolutely psychotic. I still can't believe that happened. So, what an opportunity to start 2-0. Right? It's not supposed to be easy, so I know they present challenges, the Colts do specifically. This was a team in the Colts last year that was 8-9. All right? You get to week 3. It's at the Chargers. This is going to be your toughest task here in the first 3 games of the season, a team that beat you twice last year.
Yeah, Harbaugh, for Harbaugh, it's like, hey, we're going to be a better team. They're going to have a better offensive line. They're going to be tough on defense. Okay, Justin Herbert's not a bad quarterback. Now, he chokes in the playoffs, but during regular season, he's very, very good. So can you get pressure on Justin Herbert? Can we run the ball so that we can stay balanced? That's what we need, Zach, right out the gate. Have a run game, Sean. Have a run game. Lean on it early to help Bo Nix out.
And you know they're going to run it.
Oh, they're going to run the heck out that ball. They have 2 running backs, Najee Harris, and then they end up getting our boy
Amarion Hampton. Yeah.
So they want to run the ball probably 60% of the time.
Yeah, and that's Jim Harbaugh's profile. Okay, you get to week 4, and it's the Cincinnati Bengals back at home. So you open the season at home, back-to-back road games. You're back at home for week 4, Monday Night Football against the Bengals in a game that, if you remember a year ago, was wildly entertaining. And that was the Marvin Mims sort of like to the world breakout game.
Yes, best game in the NFL by far. Okay, that huge pass from Bo to Marvin Mims, and then you have to remember Marvin Mims, that the Hail Mary kind of situation at the end of the game to put into overtime. That was Mims again.
With 2 guys around him.
2 guys.
In that right corner, that short right corner of the end zone, if I'm remembering right.
And we should be favored in this game, Zach. Why? Because the Bengals may not have Trey Hendrickson. All right, their best defensive player, defensive tackle, who has 17.5 sacks. Also, why? Because if the Bengals think they're going to just sit there and throw the ball to the two receivers they just paid a lot of money for, they're sadly mistaken. If they can't get a run game going with the defense that we have now, with the safety and the inside linebacker, it could be a long day for Joey B, because Joey B does not like to run the football. Put the pressure on Joe Burrow early. Make him throw the ball to the defenders, because you're just putting so much pressure on him, and we'll win that game. And we should be able to go 3-0 to start.
I don't know if the Broncos will be favored. Yeah, it would be.
Let's go either 4-0 or 3-1. Yeah, I don't know about the Chargers.
Yeah, we'll go through and assign wins and losses later. But this is going to be a tough game. The Bengals are just tough, man. They're just tough. And because the game against Cincinnati is in Week 4, it's doubtful that Sean Payton will play for a tie again the way he did in Week 17.
Here we go again.
It's still stuck in my craw. I've been trying to get it out with the placards and everything like that. It's just still stuck there. Week 5, the Broncos go on the road to Philly. And, make no mistake, pack a lunch and a hard hat. This is going to be one of the tallest tasks of the season.
Well, Zach, this is going to tell us a lot about this team.
Yep.
Who are we?
Yep.
Right? We were having success last year until we got to the Baltimore Ravens. And the Ravens just beat the heck out of us. And it kind of told us where we stood.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we're not there just yet. If we can hang with the Eagles, if we can beat the Eagles, all right, that's telling us that we're ready for that next step. Not just to get back to the playoffs, but have a chance to win these playoffs games, have a chance to try to get to a Super Bowl. You have to beat the team that just won the Super Bowl if you want to do that.
You get to Week 6. It's against the Jets in London. All right. We talked a little bit about this yesterday. You just got to go and win that game. You just have to go and win that game. The Jets are not a very good team. They are a rebuilding operation, a reset operation. This is a team who a year ago, 5 wins, 12 losses. You got to win that game.
You do. And Justin Fields is going to be the quarterback for the Jets. All right, well, Justin Fields was able to beat us when he was with the Pittsburgh Steelers. You remember that?
Yeah, I do, unfortunately.
Yeah, and so
that was when the Broncos' offense was terrible, and Bo was one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. That was Week 2. And the Broncos produced I don't know, it was 9, 10 points, something like that. Bo was not ready to play because he was in a triple threat match all summer.
And let's be real, the Denver Broncos, okay, on paper, are better than the Jets. They have to stay focused. You're in London. This is where your vets come to play, right? This is where your vets are able to say, all right, young bucks, have fun, but don't do too much. Remember what we're here to do. We're here to play a football game. We're here to win. And then if you win, you can have a little bit of fun. And I know how Sean is. Sean might let the players stay for a day more than they would just because they win that game. So Sean's a players coach, Zach.
And it was the Broncos producing 6 points that week against Pittsburgh in Denver.
Yeah.
So there's a little payback for Justin Fields there. You get to Week 7, it's the New York Giants. We talked about this yesterday. Don't want to spend too much time on it. It's I'm hoping it's Russell Wilson, quarterback in the Giants. I think you are too.
I want Russ.
Okay.
The drama.
Again, that's a game that if we're talking about like the Broncos winning the division, the Broncos,
you need to win this game.
You got to win that game at home against whether it's Jackson Dart or Russell Wilson or Jameis Winston or what's his name, Danny DeVito over there. Then you got Week 8 hosting the Dallas Cowboys.
Javonte Williams, he's coming to town.
Payback game.
He might run for 23 yards.
Could you imagine? Just give me a middle finger. I went.
Well, Jerry Judy already did that to us.
He did.
Why not Javonte?
But because I don't know if I've ever ridden a storyline as consistently as the Denver Broncos top 3 running backs unable to have a single carry for 22 yards. But Javonte specifically ended his Bronco career with over 400 carries without one going for 22 yards. There's gonna be a lot of Dallas fans there. That's a national fan base.
It's America's team. I don't know if that's the case anymore, but that's what it used to be. America's team, and it's the Dallas Cowboys. One thing I will say about Dallas is you're still gonna have to watch Dak Prescott. That's still early in the season, so he's healthy. The offensive line's healthy. The defense is still healthy. That's gonna be a tougher game than people are thinking because you still do have Dak Prescott, and Dak Prescott is not a bad quarterback.
No, he's not. He's probably somewhere between 9 and 14, something like that in the NFL. It's been years since Dallas was here. It's been years, and I remember it like I was yesterday because I was there. It was my first ever Broncos game. It was 2017. It was like Phil, it was like week 2, I want to say. And
was Zeke was a rookie.
Yes.
Okay,
No,
maybe
I
his second
think
year.
it was the second year.
Okay.
Yes, it was the second year because, and I'll pull it up here real quick, but it was such a big deal because they came in with so much fanfare. And you remember how good those teams were, the offensive line at the time, and a young Zeke, a young Dak.
They were number one. The offensive line was number one. Rushing was number one. Dak was throwing for a million yards. Like they were high power. They were a high power offense.
They were, and they were both up for Offensive Rookie of the Year the year before. And they came in here, and this is again going back better part of a decade here. It was week 2. It was Trevor Siemian quarterbacking the team. Final score: Dallas 17, Broncos 42.
Okay, Trev.
He threw 4 touchdowns that day. C.J. Anderson, that bowling ball, went for 118 yards. DT and Emmanuel were your leading receivers. And I remember, to finish the game, Aqib took one to the crib.
To the house.
And that place was shaking. And I was just so excited to be in Denver. And I had just moved there here in the spring. And and my hair standing up, my arms
to Denver,
right.
baby. Welcome to Denver.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, this is how it is.
And I remember we came and did the segment on that next day. It was like, is the Broncos Super Bowl window still open? They were 2-0. Vaughn was still here. All these, Emmanuel, DT, all it. Anyway, so Cowboys here week 8. And then, so that wraps up the 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so there's another quarter of the season in the books. Week 9 at Houston. That's going to be another pack a lunch game. That's a real operation, a real quarterback, and a legit playoff team.
Oh, for sure. And the last time we went to Houston, we had an opportunity. Remember, was it where Russ tried to throw the ball to Lucas Kroll and James Merrill tried to blame Lucas Kroll
he said
for losing the game.
That game's on Lucas Kroll.
And that was his first game ever.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think he had like maybe 5 reps before that play.
Yes.
Thanks a lot, James.
Yes.
What a bully.
He said, that's not on Russ. Not on Russ. That's on Lucas Kroll, the guy you never heard of before today.
And for Russ, it's like, Russ, why are you going to a guy that you don't trust?
Hysterical. We get to week 10. It's the Raiders on Thursday Night Football. The Raiders owned the Broncos for the longest time. I mean, they had a streak over Denver that finally last year got snapped. But they've reset their operation. They have a veteran quarterback in Geno Smith, a veteran coach in Pete Carroll.
Yep.
And it sort of brings a little
Ashton Genty.
It sort of brings Brock Bowers. They are turning into Mad Max.
Crosby. They're going to be tougher than people think.
They're turning into a legitimate football operation.
It's a team that we're going to have to watch out for. They're in our division. We're sitting here saying, hey, like we can dethrone the Chiefs and the Chargers may be the only ones in our way. Like, not so fast. The Raiders, they have a bunch of veterans, and they do have a running back that might end up being really good and winning Offensive Rookie of the Year if he ends up being what people think he's going to be.
Well, he's the favorite right now. Genty is.
I've seen some clips, and he actually looks really good.